Tech problems mar launch of Trump-Musk interview. Chinese aircraft drops flares into path of PH Air Force plane. Ukrainian troops captured 28 settlements amid Kursk incursion. Pakistan's military arrests former spy chief. Hundreds of firefighters tackle a major wildfire in Greece. Australian Olympic breakdancer breaks the internet.
Hello, I'm Helen. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Wednesday, August 14th, and here are your top stories. Elon Musk's interview with Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump was marred by technical issue that the tech billionaire blamed on a cyber attack. The lengthy conversation, which Musk said was aimed at open-minded independent voters, began more than 40 minutes late, as many users struggled to gain access. Musk claimed that a distributed denial of service attack saturated all of our data lines. Near the end of the 2-hour conversation, he reiterated his endorsement of Trump and called on moderate voters to support the Republicans' campaign.
Mr. Musk said, "Here's to an exciting, inspiring future that people can look forward to and be optimistic and excited about what happens next." However, the conversation got off to a less auspicious start. More than 20 minutes after the conversation was scheduled to begin, Mr. Musk blamed a massive DDoS attack on X for the issues in a post, as many users struggled to access the live stream. Distributed denial of service attacks, known as DDoS attacks, are attempts to overload a website, making it difficult to use or inaccessible. Once the conversation between the two men began, Musk claimed the alleged cyber attack demonstrated opposition in the US to hearing what Trump had to say. It is unclear what caused the technical problems or who might have been behind any alleged attack.
The Philippine government said Tuesday it has filed a diplomatic protest against Beijing after Chinese jet flew dangerously close and fired a volley of flares in the path of a Philippines Air Force patrol plane over the disputed shoal in the South China Sea. The Chinese Air Force jet's hostile actions against the Philippine military's NCU-212I light transport plane on Thursday over the Scarborough Shoal marked the first such aerial encounter since high seas hostilities between Beijing and Manila in the busy seaway began to flare up last year.
Philippine Military Chief General Romeo Brawner Jr. reported no injuries or damage but condemned the Chinese actions, stating they could have had tragic consequences. Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said over the weekend that the actions by the Chinese Air Force jets were unjustified, illegal, and reckless. Despite the encounter, Philippine monitoring of its airspace will be intensified. The Southern Theater Command of the Chinese People's Liberation Army stated on Saturday that a Philippine Air Force aircraft illegally entered the airspace above the shoal, which China claims, disrupting its combat training activities.
Ukrainian troops have captured more than 24 settlements in Russia's western Kursk region since launching their incursion nearly a week ago, as thousands of residents have been ordered to evacuate. Alexei Smirnov, the acting governor of Kursk, said Monday that the situation in the region remains difficult. During an operational meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, Smirnov stated, as of today, the enemy controls 28 settlements and the penetration depth into Kursk Oblast is 12 kilometers and the width is 40 kilometers.
Ukraine controls about 386 square miles of Russian territory as it continues its offensive operation in the Kursk Oblast. Around 180,000 residents have been ordered to evacuate, with about 121,000 leaving their homes near the border. At least 12 people have been killed and 121 others have been wounded in the Kursk region since the Ukrainian armed forces launched the cross-border offensive on August 6. Putin said Russia will give an appropriate response to Ukraine and that all the goals facing us will be achieved, undoubtedly. The Russian Defense Ministry said Monday that additional forces and systems are being delivered to build up a Russian group of forces and form reserves in the Kursk region.
Pakistan former spy chief has been arrested and will be court-martialed, the country's military announced Monday, without disclosing the charges against the retired army general involved in a housing scheme during former Prime Minister Imran Khan's tenure. The military stated that Faiz Hamid was arrested following an internal probe ordered by the country's Supreme Court of allegations related to what became known as the Top City project scam. The company's Top City was developing land near the capital, Islamabad, for a private housing project.
It did not specify when the arrest took place, only that appropriate disciplinary action has been initiated against Hamid under Army regulations. The development was surprising to many in Pakistan, where the Army wields considerable power, and arrests of ranking or retired military officers are rare. The country has been under military rule for over 3 decades since gaining independence from British colonial rule in 1947. However, it appears that Hamid's arrest is not connected to the fate of Khan, who has been imprisoned since August 2023 and convicted in multiple cases. Some of Khan's convictions have been overturned by courts in recent months, prompting authorities to re-arrest him in new cases to prevent his release from prison.
Hundreds of firefighters, supported by more than 30 water-dropping planes, were battling a major forest fire that was raging out of control on Monday on the northern fringes of the Greek capital. Hospitals and residential suburbs were evacuated. Fanned by strong winds, the blaze, which began Sunday afternoon, raced through pine forests left tinted dry by repeated heat waves this summer, following an unusually dry winter. June and July of this year were the hottest months ever recorded in Greece, which also experienced its warmest winter on record.
By mid-morning, the fire was burning mainly on 2 separate fronts, with some parts in particularly difficult-to-reach areas on a mountain northeast of Athens. The fire department reported that 670 firefighters, supported by 27 teams specially trained to tackle wildfires and including over 80 members of the armed forces, were battling the flames. More than 180 vehicles were deployed, and over 30 water-dropping planes and helicopters were providing aerial support. Early Monday, a children's hospital, a military hospital, 2 monasteries, and a children's home were evacuated. Evacuation orders were also issued for more than a dozen areas, including Marathon and several Athens suburbs. 3 Athens hospitals were put on heightened alert to treat any potential injuries.
She may not be an Olympic champion, but Rachel Gunn definitely has her fans. The Australian B-girl, also known as Ray Gunn, emphasized originality as she took the breaking world stage at the sport Olympic debut in Paris on Friday, including a performance where she hopped like a kangaroo. But the unconventional performance was lost on the judges, who did not award her a single point in 3 battles against younger competitors from the US, France, and Lithuania. Videos of her breaking went viral, drawing online ridicule and speculations as to whether the whole thing was a hoax.
Gunn, 36, a university lecturer, remained undeterred, reenacting the kangaroo hop as she celebrated with fellow Australian Olympians ahead of the closing ceremony on Sunday. She told reporters, "I was never going to beat these girls on what they do best, the dynamic and the power moves." Instead of the athletic twists, spins, and freezes performed by her competitors, Gunn opted for slower moves that paid tribute to her homeland. She also wore a green and yellow Australian Olympic tracksuit rather than the streetwear favored by her rivals. Amid the criticism, Gunn's performance has also drawn an outpouring of support from the international breaking community and others who have lauded her originality, including the Australian Prime Minister.
The answer for yesterday was B, unfurled. Ships with unfurled sails wait to take them aboard. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of Australian Olympic breakdancer breaks the internet. Number 1, emphasize, 强调. The teacher emphasized the importance of studying for the exam. Number 2, unconventional, 非传统的，不寻常的. Her unconventional approach to problem solving led to innovative solutions. Number 3, viral, 病毒式的，爆红的. The video went viral, reaching millions of people in just a few hours. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday news. Be sure to tune into Funday news from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Helen, your host. I'll see you next time.